why don't you talk about your weight loss surgery? I think it is an important part of your story and could be so helpful for those of us in the same boat. It's inspiring to watch you. Thank you, Lisa. I want to thank you for your comment. So when I first read this comment on one of my prior weight loss videos, I thought, why don't I talk about weight loss surgery? Well, it seems like it was a lifetime ago. I feel like it's so far in my past. 7 years ago, I had weight loss surgery in the spring of 2016. But honestly, Lisa, you have a good point. And some of you who are newer followers may not even know because, like I said, I don't really talk about it much on my channel. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to talk about it as I show you what I eat in a week. I always do like what I eat in a day, but I thought it would be fun to do like what I eat in a week. So let's do it. And throughout the video, we will talk about weight loss surgery, regain, re-loss, whatever comes up. Let's do it. Good morning, friends, and happy Monday. We are ready to get this week started. So let me give you an update on today so far. So today I had to take my car in to get serviced, and so I got up bright and early, drove 45 minutes to drop that off. On the way, I did have a Starbucks iced Americano with a splash of half and half. Before that, here at home, I did have my early bird morning cocktail. I always get tons of questions on that, so I'll link it down below. It's just something that I like drinking in the morning because it hydrates me, it gives me energy, and I really like the taste of it. So had that. For breakfast, I had one of these Bob's Red Mill peanut butter and jelly and oats bar. If you like peanut butter and jelly, these are so good. I was actually excited to find these because I stopped at Fresh Time, which is a grocery store that I've never been to before. After I dropped my car off at the dealership, they gave me a loaner. So I had one of these on the way back because I was kind of starving, along with another iced coffee that I picked up from Panera. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I drink too much caffeine. And then I also got an egg white, avocado, and spinach sandwich from Panera. I've actually never tried this before. It is a healthier choice than the baked egg souffle, which I really would prefer to get, but you know, we're trying to make good choices here. So let's see what it looks like. It says it's on a bagel flat, and it's got egg white, spinach, cheese, avocado, and tomato. So let's taste it. It's pretty good. It definitely tastes healthy. I'm gonna add some hot sauce to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my lunch while I'm working. It's almost 1 p.m. So I've got the sushi that I showed you guys earlier. I think this is basically like a spring roll, except it's cut super thin to look like sushi. And then this is just crab with cream cheese and avocado. And I've got some soy sauce. So I'm gonna eat this and get back to work. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my car from the dealership. They're done with it. I just had to have my like routine service done, and then there was a recall. They actually loaned me the exact same car that I have, so that was kind of fun.
Hello, I'm at Starbucks. How are you?
Good, how are you? So what I really wanted to do was come here and get a coffee and a cheese Danish, but I decided to be like better and have a caramel cashew Bear Bells bar. FYI, it does not taste like the caramel cashew sundae from Culver's, in case you were wondering. So I ended up getting a cold brew with no vanilla syrup. I got extra ice, and then I got light salted caramel cold brew. I'm sorry, salted caramel cold foam. Okay, so I just had some snacks. Let me tell you what those were. I had a piece of this Colby Jack cheese and a piece of this roast beef that I got, or I'm sorry, 2 pieces of this roast beef I got at Fresh Time. I weighed it out, it was 3.3 ounces. And then I had 1 wasa cracker, the light rye ones, they're only 35 calories. And some of this plucky pickle dip, which is delicious. Okay, so tonight for dinner, I decided to make Crunchwrap Supremes. And if you don't know what those are, they're from Taco Bell, and I feel like there's 2 kinds of people in this world. There are the people that like Taco Bell, and then there are the people that pretend they don't like Taco Bell, but they actually do really like Taco Bell. But the great thing about making these at home is that you can make them for a lot less calories and more protein, and they're just like less greasy and more delicious in general. So what I did was I took 2 pounds of lean ground beef. I put those in a skillet. I seasoned it with minced onion, salt. I basically kind of crumbled that and cooked it all together until it was cooked down. Then I added some taco seasoning and some water, and I just let it simmer in the pan. The kind of burrito shells I used for this were the Mission flour tortillas. They're like the grande burrito size. And then I also use the Mission burrito size low carb whole wheat tortillas for mine. And if you've never built a crunch wrap before, they're pretty simple. You obviously need like shredded lettuce and tomatoes, so I cut those up. But basically you lay your tortilla down and then you put a couple spoonfuls of ground beef or like the taco seasoned ground beef, and then you put a little bit of nacho cheese on top. For the tostada piece, normally I would buy like the pre-made tostadas, but I decided to make my own in the air fryer just so I could kind of control the amount of fat that was on them. So then you put the tostada on top of that, and then you put some sour cream on top of that. Then you put lettuce, tomato, and then you sprinkle a little bit of shredded cheese on the top of everything, and then you kind of fold the sides in like a wheel around the crunch wrap, and then you basically just cook them in a dry skillet, folded side down. You put the cheese side down with the folds so that it kind of seals it in. And yeah, they're like totally delicious. So that's what we had for dinner. I had mine on the low carb Mission tortillas, and yeah, it was very good. I actually made myself another one, but then I was too full to eat it all, so I ate 1.5 healthy Crunch Wrap Supremes. And yeah, I think I'm done for the night. I've got like 77 calories left, but I'm totally good. I'm working on my 4th Stanley tumbler of water right now. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so before we start with Tuesday's what I ate today, let's talk about weight loss surgery. So like I said, I had weight loss surgery in the spring of 2016, which was about 7 years ago. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is where a portion of your stomach is resected. Your digestion is not rerouted in any way like it is with a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery. It's just that you have a smaller stomach. And at the time when I had weight loss surgery, I'll actually pop the photo up on the screen right here that inspired me to have weight loss surgery, because I saw this picture of myself. It was actually taken at the Sears Tower in Chicago, and I saw it and I thought, oh my God, I have gotten so big. And it was at that point in my life very daunting to me to have to lose 100 pounds. And I think that when you have 100 pounds to lose, it seems like a very steep hill to climb. If any of you have had a significant amount of weight to lose, you probably know what I'm talking about. It seems like it's overwhelming. You've tried to lose weight so many times before. You've tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed. Maybe you have been successful, but then you've gained it back. You know, it's a lifelong struggle. And so I thought, if I could just have weight loss surgery, this would be a permanent fix. Well, I was wrong. I sort of feel like when I had surgery, there wasn't as much emphasis put on also treating your mental health when you have surgery, because that is a huge part of it. If you don't fix your habits, if you don't fix your feelings around food, if you don't fix any of that, you're just going to gain it back. When I went in to have surgery and had my consult with the surgeon, he thought that the VSG surgery was appropriate for me because I had right around 100 pounds to lose. If I would have had more than 100 pounds, you know, in the 150, 200, 300 range, most of the time they would recommend gastric bypass surgery because it can have better results. I remember going into a consult before I had surgery, and I had to see the dietitian for many sessions before we started. And I remember her telling me, I remember this specifically, her telling me that for the rest of my life, I would only be able to eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories per day. And so when someone tells you that, you just think, oh my gosh, this is going to cure me of being fat forever, right? Because if I can only eat 1,200 calories a day for the rest of my life, how fantastic is that going to be? Well, that was wrong, and that is terrible advice. I would say pretty much 4 years after surgery, you can pretty much eat normally again. And by eat normally, I mean eat a normal amount of food and eat all types of food. Now, obviously, I'm just talking about my experience. There are some people who have different experiences. So if you've experienced something different, let me know in the comments below. Everyone is different. Everyone can tolerate different things. But from what I have read and heard and talked to from most people, once you're 4 to 5 years out from surgery, you can pretty much eat normally again. Now, can you like overeat to the same quantity that you did pre-surgery? No, because obviously your stomach is still anatomically smaller, but it is very possible to eat way in excess of 2,000 calories a day. It's possible to eat 3,000, 4,000 calories a day once you've had bariatric surgery. So the fact that that dietitian told me that, I think was kind of ridiculous. And they also made it seem like after I had surgery, I couldn't eat carbs any longer. And every surgery program is different. Some are more lenient in the fact that they say, no, you can eat all food groups. A lot of people that I've talked to in the bariatric surgery community, they say, no, you can't ever eat sugar and you can't ever eat carbs again. And I'm not talking like healthy carbs. I'm talking like they don't want you to eat any carbs at all, not fruit, not anything. Is keto and low carb effective for weight loss? Of course. Do you need carbs to function? No. All I'm saying is you do you, but I wasn't somebody who wanted to just cut out carbs cold turkey for the rest of my life.
Hi, Favorite Choosing Starbucks. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What can I get started for you?
I had a mobile order for Jennifer. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. So up bright and early this morning to take Kira to an orthodontist appointment. So that was fun as I tried to attend about 3 work calls as that was going on. So fun times there. I got her dropped off at school. I am stopping at Starbucks to get an iced Americano before I go home and get to work for the day. I'm sure I will be having breakfast at some point, so I'll see you for that in a little bit. So I have not been hungry for breakfast this morning. I don't know what the deal is. And I just kept working because I was so focused on what I was working on, and I actually got a lot done. So now it's 1 o'clock and I am hungry. I did finish 2 Stanley mugs of my water, so I need to fill that up again. What I've been doing actually is with the early bird morning cocktail, I have like several different flavors. The cherry lime mojito is my favorite. Of course, they don't make it anymore, but I've just been diluting that scoop in like a full glass of water so that I get my energy, and then I also get the hydration, like a full whatever that is of hydration. So what I'm gonna make for lunch is I have some leftover ground beef from the tacos or crunch wraps, whatever we made last night. I've got lettuce, I've got some cheese I can shred up, and then I love making taco salads with these Quest protein chips. They, I wouldn't say they taste exactly like Doritos, but they taste pretty darn close in a taco salad. And for this whole bag, it's 140 calories and 18 grams of protein, which is awesome. So I'm gonna weigh out 4 ounces of the seasoned ground beef. I have just my scale here, my kitchen scale. I can link the one I have down below. I really like it. I've tried several different ones, and some of them are not the best in terms of like the way you can tear them and where the buttons are located and everything, but this one fits like all my needs, and I want to say it was only 10 bucks. Let me go ahead and warm this up in the microwave. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this little contraption in a previous video, but I love it, so I'm gonna mention it again. It's this OXO mandolin slicer that I got, but it's also a grater, and one of the reasons why I like it is because it has this little reservoir down here that obviously whatever you're grating or slicing falls into. So I'll link this down below, but I'm also gonna weigh out the cheese. I will tell you that for me personally, I have to weigh out my cheese unless it's something that's pre-portioned like a cheese stick, because I love cheese, and if I don't watch that, I'll just put a bunch on there, and it's it's a lot of calories. Okay, so what I do is I put the bowl on the scale and then turn it on, and it will automatically tear, and then I just sprinkle on the cheese until it hits 1 ounce, which is a serving. I'm gonna add my chips. This is all gonna get mixed together, so it's gonna be fine. And then let's do some lettuce. Okay, and then 30 grams is 1 serving of sour cream. So I'm gonna weigh that out as well. So you can see it says 0 grams, and then I can just add, oop, if it goes over a little bit, that's fine. I was a little heavy-handed there, whatever. I can't remember where I found this Siete jalapeno sauce at. Oh, I wanna say I found it at Walmart. It's pretty spicy, so you have to use it sparingly, but I'm gonna add this on top as well. Tomatoes with my super dull steak knife. I added a little bit of cilantro to the top because I love the flavor of cilantro and it just makes it look pretty. So before I eat this, I'm gonna go ahead and put it into my Fitness Pal and see how many calories it is. So all in total, that lunch was like 480 calories and had 52 grams of protein. Like, that's crazy. It was also very delicious. I know I feel like I eat tacos and like taco flavored things a lot, but I just can't help who I am. All right, so I'm gonna keep drinking my water, and whenever I eat next, I'll see you guys again. Okay, so for dinner, I decided to make a buffalo chicken bowl, and I also had a Diet Pepsi. This is kind of similar. I guess my inspiration was the buffalo chicken sub in a bowl from Jersey Mike's. So I just took some shredded chicken and sauteed it up in a skillet with some buffalo sauce. I added cheese, and then I put it in a bowl with some lettuce, blue cheese dressing, and some tomatoes, and it was pretty good. Before bed, I was a little bit hungry, so I decided to have a quick snack. I had this Good Culture cottage cheese. This is a 2%, and it's really good. I love it. And then I had some Wassa crackers, which are really good with cottage cheese, but low in calories. Okay, so before we go on to Wednesday's day of eating, let me tell you how much I lost after weight loss surgery. So after my weight loss surgery, I guess even to have surgery, they really only made me lose like 5 to 10 pounds. It was not hardly much at all. And then I had surgery, and I would say in the 9 months to a year following surgery, I probably lost 55 pounds. I think was really, quote, all I lost. The other thing that I did not understand going into bariatric surgery is that, and I know this now, but that bariatric surgery only helps you lose anywhere from 50 to 70% of your excess weight. Meaning that if you have 100 pounds to lose, and let's say you have gastric sleeve surgery, that will help you lose 50 to 70 pounds of it. The rest of it is beyond what the surgery can help you with. Meaning, what does that mean? Meaning beyond your sort of post-op golden year when you're losing weight very rapidly, that you have to fix your habits, you have to fix your relationship with food, you have to fix your exercise, you have to fix all of those things. And so really that first year after surgery is when you should really be working on your habits. Was I doing that? Hell no. I was just thinking, wow, this is fantastic. I'm going to be able to eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories for the rest of my life. The other thing I would say, and a lot of people ask me if I regret having bariatric surgery. No, I don't regret things in my life. I do not live my life with regret. Are there times when I've made decisions when I should have made a different decision? Of course, but I don't agree in regretting things because this just is pointless. There's no point to it. So, anyway, after I had the surgery, I was in grad school. So that's the thing that I think I would have changed. If I would have had to do it over, I would not have done it at that point in my life, because in 2016, when I did this, Connor was 3 years old, Kira was 6 years old. I was commuting to work. I was working full-time at a hospital that was about an hour away from where I live. So not only did I have two basically toddlers at home that I was taking care of and taking back and forth to daycare every day, I was commuting back and forth to work an hour each way, working full-time, mind you, and I was also in grad school to get my master's in nursing. So why did I decide to have bariatric surgery when I had all of that going on? Hell, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, because I'm impulsive and I decided that I wanted it, and that's what I did. So that's kind of the story of my surgery in and of itself. Now, did I gain the weight back all at once? No, it's very slow. It's very insidious. All right, so good Wednesday morning. I decided to make myself an omelet this morning with some pepper jack cheese. So I did kind of a poor job of folding it, but that's fine. It still tasted delicious. And then on the side, I had a piece of sourdough toast. All right, so here is lunch. I've got 3 Wassa crackers. These are the rye ones with tuna salad, arugula, and then I just have a side of cucumbers with a little bit of dip. So I'm starving. I'm gonna go eat this. Okay, so here's what I ended up making for my dinner. So I have a burger with cheese on it. I made a bed of lettuce. I put the burger on top of that. I added tomatoes, pickles, a little bit of mayo, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of ketchup. So it's like a burger in a bowl. And then I weighed out a serving of sweet potato fries. And then I'm also using this spicy ketchup from Primal Kitchen that I got from Thrive Market. It's really good with either regular fries or sweet potato fries. So that's going to be my dinner. One of my favorite things to have for a bedtime snack is either some Kodiak pancakes or waffles. Tonight I decided to make waffles, and then I put some of this granola butter on them. Super high protein and delicious. So good morning and happy Thursday. I'm of course starting out with my early bird morning cocktail. I always like to mix it up in water first just to make sure that it's dissolved, and then I add ice to the cup so it's super cold because it tastes way better when it's cold. And here I sit zoning out because it's way too early and I don't want to be awake. I literally can't remember why I went to Starbucks again on this day. This feels excessive in this week. Not sure why, but I got some egg bites, and then I also got a flat white, which is just steamed milk and espresso. Okay, so I just made myself some lunch real quick before I get on my next call. My hair's a mess. I'm having a burrata caprese salad today, which is a little bit high in calories, but I love having one of these every so often. Basically, it's burrata cheese, a teaspoon of olive oil, basil, tomatoes, salt, pepper, and then I toast up some little French bread, and I basically take the burrata, spread it on the bread, add a tomato. It's so good. For a snack, I'm having one of these P3 protein packs. It's got turkey, Colby Jack, and almonds, and one of these little olives to go cups. These are super convenient and cute. I feel like black olives. Okay, so the country club that we are a part of, and I realize it sounds super hoity-toity when I say that, but really the only reason we belong there is because Adam likes to golf there. They have like a dinner pickup every couple weeks that is super convenient. So this is what they had tonight. It was basically pasta and salad and garlic bread. I basically took one of the chicken breasts off of the pasta and cut it up, or I guess it was already cut up, and then I combined it with the salad, and this was actually super good, and it fit in my calories for the day. And then of course they include dessert, which is cannolis. I only had one bite of one of these. Oh my gosh, they are so sweet. I don't even want to know how many calories were in them, but I only had a bite, so go me. Okay, so before we go into what I ate on Friday, let's talk about all of the rules around bariatric surgery. So this is kind of the problem that I have, being from like a nursing and medical background myself. I would say that nurses are not always the best patients, right? Sometimes we're non-compliant because we think that we know things, and sometimes we do know things, but sometimes we think we know better than the people that are treating us. And I'm not saying I felt that way with every single thing. I would say for the most part, you know, I did follow what the surgeon said. However, there are a lot of recommendations, especially after bariatric surgery, that are not evidence-based. And what that does, what that did for me was it eroded trust between my care team and me. Okay, so a perfect example of that is straws. So they tell you after you have bariatric surgery that you can't drink out of a straw. Why? They tell you can't drink out of a straw because when you drink out of a straw, you inhale more air than you would if you just drank regularly out of a cup. And if you inhale more air, then the air will go into your stomach, and then it will expand your stomach. Your stomach will expand, and then you can eat more, and then your surgery will be ruined. This is literally what they tell you. When you ask them if this is evidence-based, when you say, can you please show me the study where this happened to people and where this is evidenced in the literature? No, they cannot, because it's not evidence-based. And so there are all these things that they tell you. They tell you you can't drink carbonation, which I don't know. I have not specifically, I will say I have not specifically looked up any studies about that, but what I have heard from other bariatric surgeons that sort of do like myth busting is that that's not true either. There is not enough carbonation in a can of soda to be in your like you're gonna burp, right? Okay, so like obviously if you're just like pumping air into your stomach and it has nowhere to go, then sure, like it might expand. Or if you put like a balloon down there and expand the balloon or something like that, you know, kind of like they do during an endoscopy. But just like drinking carbonation, it doesn't reason check, right? So they kind of tell you all these things, and then you get to thinking about them and you're like, am I really not going to drink out of a straw for the rest of my life? Am I really not going to have a sip of Diet Coke for the rest of my life? They also tell you that you should not drink alcohol whatsoever. And that was one thing that they told me before that I was like, okay, like I understand the reasoning for it, because there's a huge risk of addiction transfer, and that is a serious thing. I totally understand that. But it's just something that isn't necessarily realistic for some people. Obviously, you should be very cautious with alcohol intake after any type of bariatric surgery, but to just flat out say that you shouldn't have it for the rest of your life, and if you have one drink of it, you're going to become an alcoholic, I don't agree with that at all. I think every patient is different. I think every patient should be able to work with their care team to determine what goals they have for themselves and what's realistic for them. But what happens is, in order to have bariatric surgery, you go and they tell you all this and you just nod your head and say yes, right? Because you want the surgery so bad that you're like, yes, you know, I'll do anything. I'll do anything not to be fat anymore, right? I'll do anything not to have to struggle with my weight ever again. Yes, I'll tell you that I'm not going to drink alcohol. Oh, coffee was another thing. You can never drink any coffee. You can never have caffeine. You can never have coffee ever again. You can never have any of these things ever again. Oh yes, yes. I am just going to drink water and eat vegetables and meat and yogurt for the rest of my life. So it's very unrealistic. Now, obviously every program is different, okay? And some of you have probably had bariatric surgery and you've been through this, and you can tell me in the comments what your program was like. But this is kind of what mine was like, and it did not really help me out much in any way. Good morning. So it's actually Friday morning, but I want to tell you guys what I made for my bedtime snack last night. So I got the Kodiak chocolate mix from Walmart, which I've never had before. And it was pretty good. I made some waffles out of it in my little Dash mini waffle maker. It's kind of convenient because you can just do one serving with half a cup of the waffle mix. So I did that, and then I used some of the American Dream nut butter. The cookie butter one is so good. Like, you guys, if you haven't tried American Dream nut butter, what are you doing? Like, they have so many awesome flavors. And I do have a discount code. I emailed them and asked them for that because I knew I was going to be talking about it on my channel a lot. So I'll link that down below if you want to try them out. So I had that for my snack, and happy Friday. I still need to go get ready. I just got the kids off to school and I need to get started with work for the day. I am having, again, my early bird morning cocktail and the cherry limeade flavor, which is my favorite. I'm sorry, it's like cherry lime mojito. They discontinued it. Like, I wish they wouldn't have done that because it is my favorite. Anyway, I'm gonna go get ready and I'll show you guys later what I'm making for breakfast. I found these at Walmart. It's the brand is Pop and Bottle. It's a cold brew concentrate. It's sort of like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the Jot coffee that was so popular on social media for a while, but I assume it's kind of like that. I'm gonna try this mocha coffee. I got this, I haven't tried this one yet. I've tried the vanilla one and it's really good. It doesn't have any added sugars in it. It's just organic coffee concentrate and natural flavors, I guess, whatever that means. So basically you can mix this with cold water and make an iced coffee. You can mix it with milk and make an iced latte, or you can mix it with hot water and make a hot coffee. So anyway, I recommend it. It tastes nice and strong. I don't like weak coffee and I don't like sweet coffee for the most part. So this works out really well. And then I just use the Fairlife milk because it has extra protein. Okay, it's Super Bowl weekend this weekend, so go Chiefs. We had a team meeting earlier and we were supposed to wear jerseys, but I don't have a Chiefs jersey, so I just represented with my stickers and my colors. Okay, so it's actually almost lunchtime, but I haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna eat a little breakfasty snack. I've got one of these Dan & Light and Fit Greek yogurts, 80 calories. I love these. This is the toasted marshmallow. And then I'm also gonna eat a chocolate Power Crunch bar. I'm not gonna eat lunch yet because I've got some stuff I need to finish. So for a snack, for a pre-lunch snack, I'm having this Oscar Mayer turkey and cheese and Triscuits. For lunch today, I made a buffalo chicken salad. I actually posted this on my Instagram, so I can link this video down below if you want the specific recipe, but it turned out super good and it was actually really low in calories. I'm pretty sure the cheese in that little Lunchable thing that I just ate was not good. Like, I ate one piece and I was like, is this Asiago cheese or did it go bad? Like, it was still in the date, but So I just ate the Triscuits and the turkey, which is fine. And then I had a popcorn. This is the Smart Food white cheddar. I get these in individual bags. I actually bought like a 3 variety pack on Amazon. I can link it down below. It comes with like white cheddar, butter, and caramel corn or something like that. Kettle corn, I don't know. They're good. So I had that, and then I had, I made myself another coffee. I know, I had no chill. This is my second one of the day, and I just realized that I needed to track my calories from the milk. So tonight is pizza night because it is Friday. So I went ahead and ordered Domino's. I got a thin crust buffalo chicken pizza and a Caesar salad. So normally on pizza nights, I try to get thin crust because obviously that has less calories, but I haven't not eaten like a ton today, and that salad I had for lunch was pretty low in calories. So I've got like 1,000 calories left, so we should be good to go. So before we go on to Saturday, let me just tell you where I'm at now. So basically what happened is I initially had the surgery. You know, I lost about 55 pounds. I would say slowly over the next, well, up until now, right? So over the next 4 or 5 years, 4.5 years, I just slowly gained it back. And sometimes I would gain some back and then I would lose a little, and then I would gain a little bit more back, and then I would lose a little. And it's all because I never fixed my habits. You know, you guys, I share a lot of my food. It's not that I eat terribly, right? Like, I feel like I eat a variety of food. I just feel like my weight gain is just very slow and gradual because overall I'm taking in too many calories, you know, too many bites of this, too many takeout, too many, you know, just like a, even just like a 300 calorie excess of what you output every day over years and years worth of time obviously puts weight on over time, very, very slowly. And then one day you wake up and you're almost back up to your highest weight and you're like, shit, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so this is where I thought, okay, I woke up one day during the week of Thanksgiving last year and I thought, I'm just gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna do it. I thought, should I go to the doctor and get medication? Because everyone's on Ozempic right now, okay? Everyone's on Ozempic, everyone's on Wegovy, whatever all of these injectable semaglutide, you know, meant for diabetics but help you lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Should I go and get this? Should I go and get phentermine, right? Should I go and get prescribed drugs? You know, I thought about that. I thought, you know, I have good insurance. I can go see a doctor. I can get meds. I can lose weight super fast too, like all the people on TikTok who are losing weight on Wegovy and Ozempic and all of that stuff. But then at the end of the day, if I'm being real with myself, I want to fix my habits. I want to be able to eat in a way that is sustainable for me, that I can lose the weight in a slow and steady way and keep it off over time. I don't want it to feel like I'm on a diet. I don't want it to feel like I'm killing myself with exercise just so I can fit into a size 8 or something like that. I just want it to be like a lifestyle for me. And so ever since the week of Thanksgiving, maybe it's the week before, I've lost about 18 pounds, give or take on the day, because we all know the scale fluctuates up and down, but about 18 pounds I've lost in right around 4 months. So I feel good about that, right? Like I feel like it's not like a huge amount of weight, but it is like a significant amount of weight, right? Like I can tell like some of my clothes fit better. I can tell that like a lot of you have commented like that my face looks thinner and stuff like that, which thank you, by the way. So I feel like I'm like doing the damn thing, and really it's just all about, you know, making sure that I'm right in my calorie goal every day, that I'm focusing first on protein because, you know, I want to make sure I prioritize that particular macro so that I can stay full and just eat things that are healthier for me than just like empty sugar and empty carbs. So I feel like I'm doing the right thing now. Do I get frustrated sometimes because I feel like it's too slow? Yes, all the time. It annoys the hell out of me. Like, especially when you do everything right and you step on the scale and maybe you're on your period and all of a sudden you're up 3 pounds. And it's like, you want to just throw the scale into the wall and go get McDonald's. Like, I do feel like that sometimes. Do I do that? No. Is it tempting because it's frustrating? Yes. But I think you know, at the end of the day, weight loss is not about instant gratification. Just like anything in life, you know, growing a baby, raising a child, you know, graduating with a degree, like any of that stuff is not instant gratification. And that's just what I have to tell myself about losing weight too. And it's not that I'm doing it for vanity reasons, because I'm not doing it for vanity reasons at all. Okay. Yes. Is it nice if I, you know, look nicer and look thinner in my clothes? Like, of course, I'm probably going to feel a little bit better about myself. But at the end of the day, to me, it is about health. It is about longevity. It is about me being able to retire when I'm in my late 50s and go to France and Europe and Alaska and like do all these fun things that some people in my family can't do because they have health problems, you know, just things like that. So that is really the goal for me. Okay, so Saturday we were basically on the road and gone all day at a soccer tournament for Connor. So I made us some breakfast sandwiches with turkey sausage to take on the road. And then we were at this indoor soccer complex, which was actually pretty nice. We had a break around lunchtime, so we went to eat lunch. We decided to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I had some naked tenders and a salad. And then for a snack, I had one of these Power Crunch protein bars. These are one of my favorite types of protein bars. For dinner, we decided to stop and get Subway because it was super late, and by the time we got home, I was not going to cook anything. And then later that evening, I just had some of this Kashi Go Lean protein cereal. This is the peanut butter flavor. I really like it, and it's a good bedtime snack as something sweet. So this was definitely not a typical day, but we were obviously out all day. And so I basically just tried to, you know, kind of make the best choices that I could in the moment with what I had. All right, so good Sunday morning. I'm once again starting out my morning with my early bird morning cocktail. I really do think this helps me drink less coffee, and sometimes I just like it better in the morning because it is more hydrating, obviously, than a cup of coffee. So for breakfast this morning, I am going to make myself one of these ham and cheese omelets. This is the Atkins brand. They're pretty good if you can find them. And then I'm also going to make myself a few pieces of rye toast and have some cottage cheese on the side as well. I love having cottage cheese for breakfast because it gives me a lot of extra protein. So that was delicious. All right, for a snack this morning, I had some of these cinnamon crunch popcorners. If you've never tried them, the cinnamon ones are really good. They kind of taste like churros to me. And they only have 130 calories per serving. For lunch, I was filming a video, so I made tuna melts along with some potato wedges. It was an extreme budget video that I thought turned out really good, so make sure you check that out after you watch this one if you're interested. Okay, so here's what I'm having for dinner tonight. This is a salad. I've got some romaine and iceberg lettuce in the bottom. I've got some grilled chicken in there, some ham. This is just deli ham that I chopped up. I guess it's kind of like a Cobb salad, even though I don't have a hard-boiled egg. I wish I did. Tomatoes, cucumbers, a few croutons, and some homemade blue cheese dressing that I made this week. Okay, so for my nighttime snack tonight, I'm gonna have some American Dream nut butter. This is the Frosty Pebbles, which I'm kind of excited to try this. I haven't tried this flavor yet. They have all of these like sample packs on their site. I just love their nut butter on rice cakes and waffles and protein pancakes and all kinds of stuff. It's so good. These are the Kashi vanilla protein waffles. You can get them in the freezer section. I like to make my own out of the Kodiak cake mix, but tonight I am tired and I also want to go to bed, so we're just using the pre-made one. All right, let's taste test. That one's good. I like it. You can definitely taste a little Fruity Pebbles in there. Yum. Okay, so here are some statistics about bariatric surgery, because I think that if this has happened to you before and maybe you've regained some of the weight, you feel like a failure. Like, you basically feel like you're a failure. At least that's what I have felt like a lot. And I just want to tell you that you're not alone. Weight regain is very common. In fact, I was just looking at some statistics because I wanted to cite these both to you and myself. But this particular study done by UCLA says that on average, patients regain about 30% of the weight that they lost after 10 years. And also after 10 years, 25% of patients regain all of the weight that they lost. So basically, a quarter of all patients who have surgery, once they hit the 10-year mark, they've regained all of their weight back. Is that good? No. But does it demonstrate that clearly a lot of people struggle with this? And if you struggle with this too, you are not alone. Yes, of course. And even at the 5-year mark, it says that most patients only have maintained about half of the weight that they lost with the initial surgery. So I think that really, I just want to kind of tell you those things, because if you're in the same situation and you feel like you're a failure, please don't. Please know that if you have struggled with your weight for any amount of time, I'm here to tell you, everyone else is here to tell you that don't put the blame solely on yourself. This is a systemic problem in our country. This is a systemic problem throughout much of the developed world, right? And if it were just as simple as having willpower, if it were just as simple as don't eat that, don't be so lazy, have more willpower, then everyone would be thin, right? Like, isn't that, it's like telling an alcoholic, like, just stop drinking. It's not that easy. It's not that simple, right? So I kind of just wanted to encourage you with that. And then I also want to just like wrap up with telling you a little bit about like my macros for the week and kind of how I'm eating. So basically you can see on the screen here, I'm just kind of flashing up some screenshots of all of my calories throughout the week. I use MyFitnessPal to track everything that I eat. I find that it's super helpful. I find that it keeps me on track. I find that by tracking and weighing everything that I'm eating, is it a little bit of a pain in the ass? Yes, but does it help keep me on track and help keep me from thinking, oh, well, this is 2 cups of popcorn when it's really 5 cups of popcorn, or you know, whatever the case is. Cheese is another one that you really have to measure out because it's very calorically dense. So you can see here that overall, you know, on any given day, I'm eating anywhere from like 1900 to 2200 calories, somewhere in that range. You know, some days I'm eating less, some days I'm eating more. I feel like it all evens out. I do make a very concerted effort, and I didn't really show this a lot in the video, but I have a 30-ounce Stanley mug, and I do drink at least 4 of those per day. Most of the time I drink 6 of those, so I'm making sure to definitely get my water in. And then also I use my walking pad. So I have a walking pad under my desk that I use. I would say every day that I work at home, I walk on it for at least 45 minutes. Sometimes I walk on it for up to 2 hours a day. So I'm trying to get my steps in that way. And then in terms of macros, you know, you can see I'm getting anywhere between 130 to 150 grams of protein, depending on the day. I don't have a specific protein goal that I want to exactly hit. I'm just trying to prioritize that particular macro so that I can, you know, so that it can help keep me full without eating excess fat and excess carbs. So that is what I eat in a week. I know this was a long video, and I hope that you took something away from it. You know, if you have struggled with your weight, or if you have had bariatric surgery, or you're thinking about having bariatric surgery, leave any questions that you have in the comments down below. I have a very supportive, positive YouTube audience, and so, you know, we are always down there talking in the comments, encouraging each other. So let us know what your questions are. I'm sure there's me or somebody else that can help you out. And if you guys want to see another what I eat in a day weight loss video, you click on this one right here. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.